everyone, and welcome to your Miracle Mindset Monday for this week. So, remember, with our Miracle Mindset Monday, this is just a generalized reading for the week. There are no personalized readings. If you are interested in your own personalized Miracle Mindset Monday, then please feel free to visit my website, awakeningmiracles.org. So for this week, we're going to be using two decks that to me are really inspirational. Good morning, Alicia. Thanks for joining. Thanks for being here. Good morning, Karen. Thanks for joining. Thanks for being here. Good morning. Good morning. So our first deck is the Oracle of the Angels, always a beautiful affirmational deck. And then we also have our beautiful, this one is the Mystical Wisdom deck. And then we're also going to be pulling from the Frequency Tarot deck to let us know what's the general frequency for this week. And then we will move on to the rest of the cards for this week. Good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining. Thanks for being here. Thanks for sharing. So let us begin this week by seeing what our frequency is. Ooh, beautiful. So let's see what our frequencies are for this week. So our first frequency is all about self-trust. Now, when it comes to self-trust, there is something that's really interesting. So it's not about trusting the self that you made. And when I say the self that you made, I mean trusting that egoic self. This is really an invitation for us to really begin to trust our inner self, our true self, our intuitive self, and really start trusting that more and trusting the ego a little bit less. Now, a lot of people may say, well, how do we do that? Best way that I can tell you to start developing self-trust in your intuition is really all about allowing yourself to interact with your intuition. You know, everyone is psychic. Everyone has the ability to tune in. Everyone has intuition. The only reason that some people's intuition may seem more on point or stronger is because they practice with it on a regular basis. So one way that you can begin to practice more of your own or developing that trust in yourself or in that intuitive self is practicing with it. And the best way that we do that, we just you can place your hands over your heart if you want. You can just really start that process. Good morning. Thanks for joining. Thanks for being here, Julie. So we just take our deep breath in. We just hold it just for a second. Then we just let it out. We take another deep breath in. We hold it. And then we just let it out. And then we take another deep breath in. We hold it, and then we let out that sound. And then you can go to your closet, you can go to your refrigerator, and you can simply say, what should I wear today? My heart says. Or what should I eat this morning? My intuition says. So you can really fluctuate it between my intuition says, my heart says. You can even start doing that for walks if you go for walks. Which way should I go? My heart says, or my intuition says. And just allow that to be the guide. And you just start with those little things so that you can start to build up that confidence a little bit more. And as you do that, then you start to use it on bigger and bigger things because you trust it more and more and more. But always, always, always start small. Don't try to go from 0 to, well, I might trust my intuition here or there, to 100. Oh my gosh, I'm going to trust my intuition for everything. It's building it slowly but surely. And as we do that with optimism. And that means, we do it with a positive attitude. We do it with that attitude of, I don't know what my intuition is going to tell me, but I know it's going to be great. I know it's going to be wonderful. I know it's going to lead me somewhere that I need to be. Instead of, well, I never tune in. I never get information. I can't do this. Let's not meet self-trust and developing that with a sense of pessimism. Let's be cautiously optimistic of, well, I'm not sure what's going to happen, but I'm gonna try it. And as we of course do that, we begin to open up to life more because we now know that our intuition is going to guide us and it's going to move us in the right direction. So those are the overall frequencies for this week. So it's all about self-trust, optimism, and opening up to life from an intuitive viewpoint. So now let's go to the mystical wisdom deck. And let's see what other additional information we can get for this week. Oh, beautiful. Love it. And we have, whoops, okay. Beautiful. Okay, so our 3 cards from that deck. Our first one is knowledge. Seek knowledge. So this one is really about seeking that intuitive knowledge, going a little bit deeper and not just seeking what's on the surface, but really seeing what each situation holds for us in the way of, well, what can I learn from this? Or what is this reminding me? What is this guiding me towards in the way of knowledge? As we take those intuitive steps, we also need to be willing to face our fears. And we're going to have to face our fears with, oh my gosh, should I be doing this? Should I not be doing this? And really facing that when it comes to our intuition and trusting that intuition. We got to face our fear with that I can't trust it. I'm not as good as anyone else. And we got to face that fear and we got to let that go. And we do that with this sense of happiness, with this sense of, it's not about worrying about it, it's about moving forward and flowing with it, because here we have the dolphin energy, which is all about don't worry and be happy. And you also can see that in that picture, there are these beautiful bubbles and everything's just kind of floating along, going along gently, easily, effortlessly. And that's really when you live an intuitive life, there is that sense of effortlessness. There is that sense of joy and fun because you're not necessarily worried about what's going to happen. You just know, well, I'm being led somewhere. I don't quite know why I'm being led, but I am. And I'm really excited about where that's going to be because we have that sense of optimism and that sense of I'm not worried because I know my intuition is always going to lead me exactly where I need to be. And not only exactly where I need to be, but it's also going to introduce me to some new friends, perhaps, because this is the friendship card and this is nurture your relationships. So not only could it lead us to new friendships, but it's also asking us to nurture our relationship with our own intuition, with our own inner being, with our own divine self. That's what it's asking us to do this week, is really build that relationship up. Instead of degrading it and saying, I can't, I can, and I'm willing to really start investing a little bit more in my intuitive self. And as we do that, let's go to our affirmation for the week. Okay. Oh, beautiful. I love how this all just fits together beautifully. Okay. So our first one is the Awakening card. So absolutely beautiful card here. And our affirmation for number 20, for number 29 is, I open my heart and spread my wings towards what is true. I lift my thoughts towards God, nature, and beauty. May the spiritual consciousness in me awaken in love and in wisdom. So be it. So, such a wonderful card right there to just tell us that we are opening our heart, we're spreading our wings towards what is true. And as we do that, we have card number 28, which is the Angel Whisper card. Okay, so the Angel Whisper card is really, really beautiful because it is, I move my awareness within and discover the entire universe. My angels lovingly guide me. The universe is full of timeless wisdom. I am loved and I choose love. So really, really key there. I am loved and I choose love. So really love that. And as we, of course, choose love, as we go into love, we have card number 7, which is Harmony. And the Harmony card is, I center myself in a bubble of love and light. Harmony is available to me at all times. And, I love harmony because harmony is a synergistic union of all things working together for good. So let's take a little recap of this week, which is card number 1 from the Frequency Tarot was Self-Trust. We're not talking about trusting the ego. We're not trusting the self that we have made. We're talking about trusting in our inner being, our intuitive self, our divine nature. That's what we really want to get into. And remember, we start small with just asking little questions. How can, first, what should I wear? What could I eat? What way should I go for a walk? Maybe which way I should go to work. And we start to really build that relationship with our intuition. And we do that with optimism. And to be cautiously, if being super optimistic is a little too much for you, that's okay. Be cautiously optimistic. Well, I'm not quite sure what I'm going to get or what's going to happen here, but I know it's going to be something good. Just be cautiously optimistic about trusting your intuition. Remember, we're building. That's all we're doing. We're building. We're not saying it has to be the perfect thing. We don't have to go from I never trust my intuition to I can 100% trust my intuition every single day. As we begin to trust that self, open up cautiously, be cautiously optimistic or just fully optimistic, we get to open up to life. And the reason that we're opening up to life is simply because we're now a little more apt to trust our intuition. So we're now looking for opportunities for our intuition to guide us and move us through every situation. Like I say in my 8 weeks of guidance course, that when you start trusting your intuition, it doesn't mean that, situations aren't going to come up or bad things aren't going to happen, but it means that you are going to be led through them through a force that knows more than you do. And that's all that intuition is. It's our guidance system. It says, okay, you kind of stepped out of love here. Let me guide you back to the loving path. As we do that, we're now coming to our enchanted, or not the enchanted map, but the Mystical Wisdom deck. And the Mystical Wisdom deck tells us first that we're going to seek for that knowledge. We're going to seek within for that knowledge. What is this situation giving to me? What can I learn from this situation? Then we're going to face our fears, and we have to release our fears about trusting our intuition, about being led by our intuition, living an intuitive life. As we do that, we have the dolphin energy, which is don't worry, be happy, be cautiously optimistic, flow with it. And as we do that, we start to build that relationship up with our intuition, but also we get to use our intuition in our friendships and in all of our relationships, kind of getting an intuitive viewpoint on what feels good and what doesn't, and what needs to be fixed and what doesn't. And as we do that, we move to our affirmations, which is all about awakening, our angel whispers, which is we're moving within ourselves, and we move within to center ourselves in harmony, which is a synergistic union of all things working together for good. So it's a beautiful week if you're willing to really have that development of trust. And it just takes one little step at a time. It's not gigantic leaps. It's just one step at a time. Start to really get to know your own inner being, your own intuitive self that exists within you and has just been patiently waiting. Because we actually have one more card here, which is card number 2, which is inner calling. So let's see what that affirmation is for this week. I choose to see challenges as ideal opportunities to work on my inner self. I look for the blessing in all situations, past and present. I am connected to the positive aspect of my experience. So once again, it's not telling us to put on, the rose-colored sunglasses and say, la, 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 everything's sunshine, rainbows, and lollipops. It's saying, okay, let me acknowledge what's happening in this situation. Let me find the blessing and let me be led through this. Let me really take, okay, what is this situation telling me? What is it teaching me? And looking for those lessons. What is it teaching me about what I believe? That's really what I like to use situations for, is when a quote unquote, a negative situation appears, I like to say, okay, what is this teaching me about what I believe about the world? Do I believe maybe people mistreat me? Do I maybe believe that people can't be trusted? Do I maybe believe that I'm cursed? Do I maybe believe that I just can't catch a break? I mean, what is the situation showing me about what I believe about my life? Because it really will show you your own thoughts and beliefs. Every situation will mirror back what you believe about the situation, about people, about yourself, about your life. And then you can say, do I want to keep that? Like, do I really want to continue that? Or am I willing to see this differently? Am I willing to begin to trust my intuition more to lead me where I need to be? Am I willing to seek that harmony? Am I willing to seek within, to awaken in love, and to really face down my own thoughts and beliefs, my own fears, my own judgments? So that is this week. And I send you all of my love. For those of you that follow me on my ACIM support page, I will be there live tonight at 5, and we're 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And we are going to be reading Chapter 1 of A Course in Miracles, which is the 50 Miracle Principles. We will not be reading the whole entire section, but we will be reading some of those, and we'll be going into an explanation of each one. So thank you for joining me. Thank you for being here, and I will see you all later on in the week.